We don't often see rookies who are able to combine double-digit scoring with shooting efficiency while also impacting winning all at the same time. In fact, this season, there are only two rookies who are averaging at least 10 points per game on at least 50% shooting from the field while also sporting a positive plus-minus rating on the floor. Unsurprisingly, one of them is OKC Thunder rookie Chet Holmgren, who's currently leading the Rookie of the Year race and has long been projected to be a star-level talent in the NBA. While the other one, which might come as a bit of a surprise, is Miami Heat rookie Jaime Jaquez Jr. Well, unlike Holmgren, Jaquez wasn't even a lottery selection as he was drafted 18th overall by Miami. But currently, the 6'6" guard-wing hybrid is averaging 12 points per game on a highly efficient 52.5% shooting from the field. But most importantly, he's a plus 16 for a contending Miami Heat team when he's on the floor. Well, sure, Jaquez is an older rookie at 22 years old after having spent 4 years in college at UCLA. And to be fair, older rookies like him are already typically expected to contribute right away at the NBA level. But still, what makes the current play of Jaquez actually surprising is that most draft scouts expected his immediate impact in the NBA to be mostly contained on the defensive end. But currently, Jaquez has already been outplaying those expectations, as his current scoring average is the 5th highest among all rookies, only behind lottery selections such as Wembanyama, Holmgren, Brandon Miller, and Jordan Hawkins, while the 61% true shooting mark is putting up is also the second best among rookies, only behind Chet Holmgren. Overall, these high-level offensive numbers, combined with his tough and reliable defense, makes it very clear that Jaquez is already outplaying his value as an 18th overall selection, and that he's already been a huge steal for a Miami Heat team that desperately needed to land a win-now type of player out of the draft. So what's good everyone, it's Real Balls here, and in this video, let's look into why Jaime Jaquez Jr. isn't your average rookie. So let's get to it. Well, just like any other rookie who's playing for a contending team, Jaime Jaquez is still a relatively low-usage player for the Miami Heat. However, the good thing is, not having the ball in his hands a huge chunk of the time isn't preventing Jaquez from impacting the game offensively, and one way he's been effective without the ball is by becoming a steady catch-and-shoot floor spacer. For a guy who wasn't really considered to be a very good three-point shooter out of college, Jaquez has actually been really reliable from behind the arc as a kick-out option for Miami's ball handlers. Currently, Jaquez is draining a highly efficient 39.3% of his three-pointers, with almost 96% of his three-point makes being assisted by teammates. Well, sure, he's still not a high-volume shooter at only around 3 attempts per game, and it's still based on an early season sample size, but the comfort and consistency that Jaquez has been displaying with his shooting stroke is actually a very good indication that his shooting could actually be sustainable in the long run. Plus, what's even better is that he's also shown some flashes of self-creation from behind the arc. Just like here, you can see Jaquez operating off the screen by Duncan Robinson, and as he gets the switch, watch him hit Bogdanovic with a hesitation dribble before breaking the guy's ankles with a quick behind-the-leg cross, leaving Jaquez with a wide-open three-point shot. But also, what you gotta love about Jaquez is that his game isn't limited to the three-point line unlike other young players. Another way he impacts the game offensively off the ball is by displaying his advanced feel as a cutter around the basket. Jaquez has great understanding of space and has a knack for moving around the floor and finding open spaces around the paint where he can make himself available as a passing outlet for teammates. Just like here, while Kyle Lowry and Adebayo are running a pick-and-roll action, you can actually see Jaquez on the weak side, and right here, he takes advantage of his napping defender by quickly going backdoor, making himself available to the nice entry pass from Kyle Lowry. Then here, as Haywood Highsmith brings the ball down court in semi-transition and surveys the floor, you can see Jaquez already in the paint sealing his position against a smaller defender. Watch how he uses his size to ward off his man as he makes himself open for the easy finish below the rim. Although the good thing about all of this is that Jaquez also isn't just limited to playing off the ball. You can put the rack in his hands and he can manufacture buckets for himself as well. And currently, his brilliance as a shot creator can mostly be seen in his driving game. Jaquez is already very adept at finishing when he slashes right to the basket. In fact, he's currently shooting a highly efficient 56.6% out of drives to the basket, which already ranks in the 82nd percentile among all 170 players who are averaging at least 5 drives per game in the entire NBA this season, which is already a very impressive mark, especially for a rookie. Well, Jaquez is only 6'6" and he's not really a vertically explosive or quick twitch athlete with the ball, but is still able to create separation downhill because of his decent first step and his crafty handle, and is also able to finish efficiently at the rim because of his ability to use either strength or finesse against defenders. Just like here, you can see Jaquez in isolation against Jordan Poole. Watch how he just uses that subtle hesitation to open up a driving lane, and deep in the paint, he uses his strength to finish even against contact as he gets the end one. Then here, as Jaquez receives the ball from behind the arc, watch him just hit Giannis on the closeout with a quick shot fake which opens up a driving lane for him before he finishes against Bobby Portis using a little bit of a hang time. Then again here, using the double drag screen, Jaquez attacks the lane, and as the switch comes, he uses a hezi to create space, but when another defender closes the gap, just watch him use a quick shot fake which gives him daylight to finish the easy lay-in. Another thing I love about Jaquez is that he's also very comfortable operating as a shot creator from the mid-range, which isn't a trait you often see from rookies. Around the mid-post area, Jaquez is a very smooth operator. He's been displaying some solid footwork on the block where he's been very comfortable using an array of jab steps and shot fakes to be able to manufacture some jumpers and floaters. Right here, you can see Jaquez trying to body up LaMelo Ball on the post. Here he goes for the pivot and the quick shoulder fake, leading to the beautiful step-back jumper which he drains with a hand on his face. Then here, as he receives the entry pass in the post, you can see the full bag from Jaquez. He uses the jab step before cooking Joe Harris with a crossover and the shot fake, which sets up the tough turnaround jumper. But then here, as he receives the entry pass in the low block, Jaquez recognizes the open shooter on the corner, so instead of forcing a shot, once he sees Bobby Portis going deeper on the help, he just dishes out the nice one-handed sling pass to Robinson for the wide open corner three. Well, that playmaking part of his offense, I think, is also one of the strongest components of Jaquez's game. He's not necessarily throwing a lot of flashy passes, but has shown hints of being a reliable secondary playmaker because of his ability to read the game and to make the right passes to teammates. Currently, Jaquez is averaging 4.7 assists with just less than 3 turnovers per 100 possessions, which is already a solid mark for a young player. Particularly, I love that Jaquez is already showing glimpses of making some advanced passing reads out of the pick and roll, making him another potential ball handler for Miami moving forward. Just like in this pick and roll sequence, watch how Jaquez uses the screen from Bam but then waits for the drop coverage to hedge on him before he dishes out the perfect lob pass to Adebayo. Then this time, you can see Jaquez setting up the ball screener, which is Kyle Lowry. As the defense traps him, watch Jaquez throw the one-handed dime to Lowry, who flares out to the corner for the step-back three-pointer. Well, as we can see, Jaquez is already emerging as a solid offensive contributor for Miami, but even without scaling up too much as a scorer, what makes him an even more vital piece for the Heat's championship plans is his tremendous value as a defensive player. On defense, Jaquez is tough and disruptive while being able to guard multiple positions comfortably because of his quick feet as well as a solid build for a guy who's only 6'6". But I think what mostly stands out from his defensive game right now are his quick hands and his nose for the ball. In fact, Jaquez is currently averaging 1.1 steals per game, which is the second most among rookies, only behind Victor Wembanyama. And I love that Jaquez generates those steals by just being at the right spots whenever he needs to, without having to veer away from Miami's defensive schemes. Right here, you can see Jaquez patrolling the middle of the floor while being ready to close out on Keldon Johnson from the top of the key at any given moment. But right here, as Wembanyama is about to run a dribble handoff, Jaquez anticipates the pass and just wipes the ball away with his quick hands as he gets the easy fast break bucket. Then here, you can see Jaquez closing out on Jaden Ivey from behind the arc. Watch how he's just able to hold his ground against a quicker guy, staying in front of Ivey using his mobile feet before just wiping the ball out of Ivey's hands the first chance he gets. Well, looking at it, just a few months ago, Jaquez was being seen by many as simply a potential trade piece that Miami could include in a hypothetical trade package for Damian Lillard. But it's crazy that right now, he's starting to look like a crucial X factor that could help determine how deep Miami can go in the playoffs. Jaquez also just won the first Eastern Conference Rookie of the Month award this season and is also looking like a lock to be selected to an All-NBA rookie team. Well, we don't know how much better he can become in the long run or if he'll even develop into a star-level player, but for a Miami Heat team that's gonna be playing around the luxury tax for at least the next couple of seasons with expensive player contracts, landing a starting caliber player on a rookie-scale contract like Jaime Jaquez is definitely already a massive win. So thank you guys if you've actually made it this far into the video, but what do you think is a realistic ceiling for Jaime Jaquez Jr.? Feel free to drop your thoughts in the comment section below, and again, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing as well. Again, this is Rero Balls, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.